All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back into it. As I think these teams, some teams do not need the ready check to move forward, and that is where we are with this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the BCL League of Legends tournament, where I'm AJ0 and I was not ready to go live just yet, but that's fine because these are the moments I have been preparing for my whole life. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so pleased to announce, after all of this hype, the Swain Batty League, where it all began, will officially be returning next year. I am so beyond hyped. I hope you enjoyed our beautiful trailer put together by Zad. We will have much more information coming as we get closer to that point, so keep an eye out on all of the Swain Discords where we'll be talking about this as we lead into it. Swain Batty League sometime early 2021 is all we know for now. So this is officially our Swain Batty League preseason tournament. And like all good tournaments, somebody has to get eliminated first. And that is what we are about to find out. As on these two sides, we are about to watch Simpin Ain't Easy going up against the Shitters. These were, I think, the two teams that, in everyone's predictions, these were the two favorite teams. So here we are in the losers round one. Reminder, if you missed it, we are going to be playing simultaneous matches here, as the two teams that won will be playing their winners bracket match off stream right now, just to keep things on track. But to actually talk about this game, I'm AJ0, and I'm really excited to. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I finally have the opportunity to cast with who I think is the most iconic and the greatest, and my personal favorite of all of the Swain Batty League casters. And so joining me on the mic here, it's the one and the only Mr. AJS0. Mr. Swift, how are you feeling about this game? Oh, thank you, Mr. Swift. I'm feeling wonderful. I'm super excited to be casting this game with you, as I'm still really hyped, guys. The Swain Batty League, the SPL is back. The SPL is back. You could not ironically message me and ask when is the SPL, and I can tell you to fuck yourself again. So I'm going to be solo casting this one because all of my casters for this tournament are also playing on these teams, and we were not originally planning to have simultaneous games. This was a contingency plan if we were running late. And in reality, we probably should have just assumed this would be running late. Wes, if you're in Twitch chat, yes. TeamSpeak. I may not be solo casting this game. We're figuring this out as we go. Very fly by the seat of my pants here. So maybe I will have a co-caster. As I have not said anything about these picks yet, but you know what? We have a whole game to talk about these picks. What I am shocked about, these really were the two favorite teams to everyone I talked to after the draft, which, I mean, just shows how difficult it was to predict anything about how this event would go. One of these teams is going to finish last when I thought these teams would be playing in the finals. And it's all been best of one territory, so a lot can still happen here. I could see either of these teams going on a run. I'm actually thinking between these two teams, we will see some players role swapping from the first games, especially on the blue side. Simpin Ain't Easy. I think they have a lot of roster moves available to them that they may try out after not looking great.
My genius will be understood.
So,
eventually.
Looking through these picks so far, going to be one of the same picks here for Simpin Ain't Easy, with John Gruden taking that misfortune again. Meanwhile, on the side of the Shitters, we've got Tree hovering over that Swain support, presumably again, as a lot of bans on characters we saw in the first match are coming through, as well as some iconic picks. Thrifty Senpai drawing a ton of bans here from the Shitters. Meanwhile, a lot of 80 carries being banned by the side of Simpin Ain't Easy. Gonna try to stretch this pool of Albino Joe a bit.
Right.
So we will see here. So 380 carries banned. A lot of mid laners banned. This is, there's really not that much we can say about the draft at this point. We're just so far removed from all of these players having history that no one, I mean, you could pick anything, and I don't think I would be shocked here, and I think most of the viewers would say the same thing. So I'm really excited to see how this draft rounds out. Albino Joe, after the 80 carry pool pinched, looks like he's going to go for the Ash, one of the strong meta picks. Obviously, if you've watched Worlds, you've seen a fair bit of her. If you were watching the stream earlier, you watched I'm Just Dan win in spite of her. So that will give Simpin Ain't Easy the chance to round out their comp here. And then we will have a last pick coming through. So it will be Darius coming through, as they're going to be playing a bit more aggressively here. That's I'm thinking we are going to see a role swap here if that Darius is being picked. But we will know in a moment. Actually, is that going to be a Darius in the jungle? Because they have a Poppy picked, or maybe Poppy will be in the jungle. As it's going to be Brands to round things out. So that was something banned against Thrifty Senpai in the last game. Or against Blabur, I guess. I don't even know for certain. But we have the picks here. So Twitch chat, you might have a better idea than me on whether the Poppies or Darius, who's going to be top and who's going to be in the jungle. But on the red side, we have a maybe more of an idea of what's going on. I don't know. The Trundle and the Shen, actually, you could convince me either's going anywhere. But they are going to round things out. It looks like hovering this Ziggs that we've seen once tonight. This is the SPL is back, and with the SPL always comes Zig picks from all of the mid laners who just want to not feed. So we will give everyone a moment, and then as we were doing earlier, I think I'm gonna pull Chopman in here. So everyone, stay tuned. We will be back. Hey, I'm gonna mute like we were doing. We'll be back when this game goes live.
User
All right,
disconnected
ladies
from
and
your
gentlemen, we are
channel.
live. Unfortunately, our attempt to fix the technical difficulties did not come through, which means I, the one and only AJS0, will be casting this game with the one and only AJS0. As, once again, we've got Simpin' Ain't Easy on the left side, the Shitters, sorry, Simpin' Ain't Easy on the blue side, the Shitters on the red. And I am going to try to solo cast this. We're going to see how it's going to go. Worst case scenario, I'm going to really embarrass myself and hop off the mic for a while. This, we'll see. It could take me a moment to get into form here, so please bear with me. I have cracked myself a nice beer to get going on this one. And solo casting, if I could start this 15 minutes in the game, would be really easy. But laning phase is sometimes the hardest thing to cast in League of Legends. So I'm really excited to see how this one's going to go. So I know I talked about this during the draft. Maybe we were going to see some role swaps, and they do come through. Thrifty Senpai going to the mid, Renai circulation to the jungle, Think Twice to the top. This is the roster lineup out of Simpin' Ain't Easy that I expected to see. So keep your eyes out on what happens here. I think Thrifty in the mid is going to have way more carry potential, and I think Thrifty and Renai are going to have the chance to just take over this map. But on the other side, we're going to see if Tree can really get the snowball rolling in the bot lane. If you watched his game earlier, he played really well at early levels, but they weren't actually able to turn it into that much of an advantage. So I'm really interested to see what happens out of it. Think Twice, meanwhile, he's being engaged on level 2 Mr. Coffee, level 1 Think Twice. That's a really bad trade for Darius. It's, you know, it's early to say this, but this is already a disaster in the top lane for Think Twice, because in this matchup, you do not want to be falling behind this early as the Darius. John Gruden, though, takes a huge poke in the bot lane, and these teams are already trading hard. And it looks like the ability to join this game late as a spectator must be turned off, so I don't think it'll let anyone join. John Gruden, though, he already knows. I don't know what he was thinking there, but he actually is able to flash and heal out, and it kind of worked. Scotchnat's going to whiff the stun, though, and that's going to turn into a very late flash follow-on of Albino Joe. Ding dong down. Oh my god, John Gruden tries to turn it. What a greedy play, and that is going to be a double kill for the Shitters bot lane. Woo! Wow, Swift, what a fight there. There was so much bad micro decision making out of John Gruden and Scotchnat there. That just late decisions on when to disengage, and they were just not on the same page. It's like there weren't any call-outs there on whether they were going to commit to a fight or turn, and that was just so greedy to turn and try to get a kill at the end. And as we were saying in the first game of the night, this Swain bot lane is really going to be trying to snowball here. And now, this time, they have got rolling in a big way, as Albino Joe and the Xmas Tree are going to be up to a big lead. But Mai Wang played atrociously in the first game of the night. He's coming in for his first gank here. There's 50 Senpai. He has a flash available. He's going to have to use it. Already more effective than Wang was in the entire first game of the night, it feels like, even though he's not playing a traditional ganker, he's playing the Trundle. But he did take some damage on the Scotch. Is going to try to zone him away from the Scuttle Crab. And we see a lot of members of these teams coming towards the bot lane. They want to force Wang off of this one, but they're going to just force him back to base, open the Scuttle Crab up for Renai circulation. But this could be, this is something. It's, you know, it's a little objective. The Scuttle Crab is worth a lot of gold and EXP, and obviously you get the vision as well. You'll see junglers put a lot of priority into securing these scuttles. So a nice little team play there. Now Scotch going to be rooted. He's going to take just a solo trade here. But Tree able to get some free poke down, which is nice, as he's already got the level advantage when these lanes play back out. So already about 1,000 gold lead for the Shitters. You know, we're only 5 minutes in, so you like to see that. As on the build, Albino Joe has to pick up the attack speed early. I believe you normally don't grab the bow first if you're going Blade of the Ruined King. You normally want to grab the attack damage for laning phase, but I could be incorrect there. I don't want to call him out, but he's probably wrong. So look at how these lanes are played out. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Thrifty Senpai, he's getting an advantage, but this lane's pushing, so it shouldn't mean much yet. I think Salvo will be fine. Think Twice has kind of turned things around from that disaster start in the top lane, as neither of these top laners have backed, and things are pretty even, as Scotch actually takes a pretty big trade there. And this is, once again, a really good position for the Xmas Tree and Albino Joe. Gruden and Scotch probably got to just wait for this lane to push. So we'll take a peek at gold here. So that lead, I mean, it's pretty much all in this bot lane as we expected. Actually, a bigger lead than I'd realized in the AD carry position, as Albino Joe is up like 800 gold on his matchup. The Xmas Tree up about 500 himself. So these guys are the entire lead. Just Thrifty Senpai is dropping a gigantic trade onto Salvo, but I don't think he's going to be able to secure this kill. Salvo gets some good damage on the disengage, and Salvo was able to hold on to his ultimate there, as well as his flash. But we'll see. This could maybe turn into a dragon here, as Salvo can follow this up from downtown with his ult. This dragon is going down real fast. Thrifty Senpai wants to come poke this one out, but Thrifty Senpai's going to get rooted. Red team going to secure the dragon. Good play out of the shitters. Now Thrifty Senpai is very low. Then Zig's ult is coming in. You cannot dodge that. Meanwhile, Mr. Coffee is going to be coming in from the side. Think Twice is still in the base. Scott Shot only level 3. He is not long for this world, and now that is a 4-0 lead for the shitters. And that, it was just a health advantage there, and like we said, Salvo with the long-range ultimate ended up being a big play. As well as Coffee joining there with the Shen ult. Think Twice was not able to find the teleport in there. And this is, like the last game we saw, starting to turn into a pretty meaningful lead. So we'll see what the shitters can do with it. Obviously, there's a lot of ways for Simp and Easy to come back. This is still early. So, obviously, there's a lot of team fight potential out of Simp and Easy, so if they can get into a 5v5 situation, that could be big. And, honestly, at the shot calling we saw in Game 1, although Renai could be in some actual danger here. He's very low, and Coffee's chasing him down, but he's not going to try to commit to a Ignite Cloak kill here. But, Simp and Easy, the thing I want to watch for is, oh my god, Scotch is still level 3. They have not let him anywhere near experience. And I mean, he's 0-2, and this is a very bad 0-2 because he has not been getting EXP. Albino Joe is level 6. He could, I mean, if he gets the right enchant, the Crystal Arrow, they will just pop Scotch it out right now. But yeah, back to my earlier point. So if we get into a skirmish situation, and the shitters, they did not have much in the way of shot calling in their first game. Just, I mean, a Brand ult, Misfortune ult, you could easily see, you know, a fight happening in the Dragon Pit or a jungle pathway that's all or most of the teams suddenly turns into big AoE ults out of those two carries that just completely turns a fight on its tail. As the shitters, you know, with the Shen, to kind of utilize a Shen comp to its fullest, you need to be shot calling effectively. So I want to see what they can do here. My Wang is playing the Trundle instead of the Fiddlesticks, so the hard int he got in the last game he played should be a little less on the menu. So hopefully for the shitters case, that is how this will play out. As they are just kind of incrementally extending their lead through this lane phase. It's getting pretty big down the bot lane. We'll take a peek at the gold again. Albino Joe is up big time on John Gruden here. A lot of CS, he's up the kills and the assists, some turret plates as well, as he's currently going back to base. So he's got the attack speed bow right now, and he's going to finish off Boots 2, and he's going to pick up a Vamp Scepter. So Albino Joe is going to be so safe in this bot lane. Meanwhile, John Gruden actually hasn't spent yet. He's at about 2,500 gold, but that deficit's going to be about 1,000 here when John Gruden goes back to base, and then about another 700 on the Xmas Tree. So this bot lane from the shitters should really be able to bully here. As, you know, when we bring the SBL back, I'm going to have to find a way to get some of those professional Dragon timers going, because trying to guess how long it is on Dragon is really a pain. So we've got, let's see, 629, so 1229 will be the next Dragon spawn. 1229, it'll be an Earth Dragon, so we got about 2.5 minutes till Dragon's on the menu. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't really see a fight until then. I think if I'm simping ain't easy, you want to try to get Scotch not to level 6 will be a big one. You want to have all your ults available. And then just try to set up a fight in the Dragon Pit. Get some AoE down, set up in advance. So in this top lane, we do see My Wang is in the neighborhood. He gets, he's pretty far away though. He's not going to be here to join Coffee. Instead, My Wang going to be starting up the Rift Herald, it looks like, on the minimap. So they're going to go for that objective instead, try to push down a lane somewhere. That could maybe open them some pressure in advance of this Dragon we were talking about, if they get this Rift Herald and drop it top lane, if they're able to take the top tier 1. But think twice, Darius the Duelist is currently being dueled, but as it happens, Renai Circulation is able to come into this bot lane, but it's still a 2 versus 3 here. Or sorry, that was not Renai Circulation. That was the other team. The Xmas Tree gets playtime. No, I'm sorry. That was Renai Circulation, who ganked the Exodus tree. And they secure the kill there, as you saw. Maybe not heard. But on the other side of the map, it is going to be that cross-map play. Think Twice going to teleport top to defend his turret, so he is going to be in some danger here. This is going to be a really low tower. Shelly will only get the one charge off, though. But that's some good pressure. If Coffee can keep this lane pushed. Oh, Dragon is a 5-minute spawn, not a 6-minute spawn, huh? My bad. So in that case, Symphony and Easy is gonna be dueling a bit here. Renai Circulation's in the enemy jungle. I don't think he was expecting Albino Joe to come through, but oh, he's gonna easily drop that Poppy ult. The hammer will send Joe back towards base. And no one is really hard committed to anything here. There's a lot of red side wards there around this Dragon Pit, so that is good for the shitters, but they still need to actually get bodies in the area to retake. As Tree is looking for some poke. That's Scotch. Remember, Scotch is still very squishy. He's still only level 5, so there's no ult available on the Taric, and John Green's going to commit a heal. Nice and early. Wants to save his support, but Renai Circulation is being poked out really hard on the side here. Scotch is still being autoed away, but that Enchanted Crystal Arrow is going to go through the uprights. Still, though, a lot of damage taken by Symphony and Easy, as well as committing both of Misfortune's summoner spells. And in this top lane, Think Twice does not have a teleport available to join his team. Coffee has the ult or the teleport available to join his. And Symphony and Easy is going to have a really hard time getting into this fight. Renai Circulation, at this really low health, he still wants to go in here. And this seems kind of tilty. Renai Circulation just dies on his entry here. Is he hoping for a mistake to walk up and smite? No, Renai Circulation, he just gets a single Q off and then has to flash. That was really kind of useless, but Thrifty Senpai drops an ult. It forces a heal out of Albino Joe, but there's a lot of low health bars on the side of Symphony and Easy here. They lose 2, and that was just a brain-dead team fight. They had no advantage, no setup, no health, and they committed anyways to only contesting that second dragon. I don't know what in the world they were thinking there, but the shitters take the second dragon. They're now up 3,000 gold. I can't wait to see how they're going to throw this. Think Twice. Fucked. Coffee. You know he was running towards the tower, and oh, we are going to have a pause. Oh, that is very unlucky. Think Twice apparently had a mouse stop working, so we are going to give him a moment to troubleshoot that. Unfortunately for him, it costs him his life. But Coffee, I don't know what he was doing with that that flash. I mean, Think Twice was about to run into a turret, and he had taken damage. He was not going to get executed, so Coffee just not understanding the timing there. But I am going to take a second to catch my breath, folks. I'm going to mute here while we let these two teams troubleshoot. So we will be back, hopefully really quickly. So we will see you then. Alright, we are back online. Real quick, since it's been a bit, I want to shout out, we had a few more donations come in recently as we are approaching 2,100. We are past our second donation goal of the event, as you guys have been awesome with the donations all week, so thank you so much. Maximilian, the doctor, with the $5 for more on 5. And the Seraphine Simp with the $25. Our last few donations that came through. By the way, if you have joined us recently and you have not heard us talking about it before, we are currently raising money for Extra Life here, as Salvo is very caught out. He's going to... Ooh, Zig's defense away, though. Salvo does hold on to his life. But we are raising money for Extra Life 2020. If you're not familiar with Extra Life, a great yearly gaming fundraiser where we give our money, just like Renai Circulation is about to give his life over to the side of the shitters, and Mr. Coffee is on a rampage. And Mr. Coffee is quietly up to 4-0-1 on this Shen. But yeah, if you are interested in donating money to the Children's Miracle Hospital Network, we are raising money for the Marshfield Children's Hospital this year. We are on some leaderboards. We've apparently won some prizes for the amount of money we've raised so far, so that's awesome. I've been saying all weekend, you know, we don't have any goals left at this point. The 2,000 was the last goal we were going to set, which will involve Thrifty Senpai doing a partial Celeste run tonight, where he's donating $1 per death, capped at $500. But while we have a moment, think twice. No, he's fine. He's not that squishy. But yeah, we don't need the money for your goals, but the children can always use it. So please, if you've been thinking about donating, every dollar helps, as this is really a great cause. You can always !donate or !charity in the chat for more information. And thank you again so much to everyone that donated. We've really just blown past our expectations for this weekend, and it's been so awesome. Now we have fights breaking out in multiple places here as Renai's circulation is really deep yet again. He is going to whip the Poppy ult. He has nowhere to run. He has nowhere to hide. And Albino Joe Salvo is going to take the kill. And it is now 9-1 for the shitters. And Simpin ain't easy. They may have been the favorite for this event, but now they are the favorite for 4th place. Now, Think Twice, though, does have a chance to get some Darius resets here. There is a double kill onto the Darius, and that is the first sign of life we have seen in a very long time. Thrifty Senpai with a big-time roam here to help set up his top laner to crawl back some of this lead, but this is still a chasm of difference at the gold stat. Ladies and gentlemen, this solo cast brought to you by beer. The Baddie League, if you didn't want to drink before, the Baddie League will make you want to. Cheers, my friends. Now, here we go, though. A Scott shot all coming out. This should hit onto both. That will hold on to John Gruden's life. As, Flash forced out of the Xmas tree there. I don't know if that was necessary, but that was kind of a nice run to Scotch Knot that turns into a lot of damage. And now both members of the Simpin and Easy bot lane are very low. This should be a pretty nice push here for Albino Joe in the Xmas tree. Although Renai's circulation. Why do I see Poppy and assume on the wind? Maybe he's playing Poppy in his other game. I'd like to think so. Renai's circulation was there, but now he's going to leave his bot lane to defend for themselves. As this tower's going to be under some pressure. We still got a few minutes till the dragon's going to respawn. As Think Twice is going to maybe try to lay some damage into Mr. Coffee here, but Coffee will just dash out. And these teams are setting up, so taking another peek at the gold. Still, gigantic lead in the bot lane. And actually a gigantic lead in the jungle, which I guess shouldn't be that surprising since Renai's circulation is currently a unclean 0-3, but Mai Wang is dominating in this matchup. That is about a 1,500 gold lead from Mai Wang. Real quick, I got a wonderful question in the chat asking how much money for another Baddie Overwatch League season. And to that, I say, if you are interested in running an Overwatch League, I encourage you to promote amateur esports within your own community to the best of your ability. You have the power to make a difference in your world. And you should go do it yourself. You have all of my support because we are not bringing back the Baddie Overwatch League anytime soon, to my knowledge. Now in this bot lane, Renai's circulation may be forgetting that he is 0-3 because he goes in there for it. I don't know why, but it costs him his flash. And you hate to see it. That is a big cooldown unavailable, because if you wanted to go for a smite steal here, you probably needed that flash to be online. And now Renai's circulation, don't tell me they're going to contest this. You just did this where Renai's circulation had no health. Renai's circulation, he's going to suicide it. He has no flash to get out here. As John Gruden from downtown is trying to secure something with his ultimate, and that was just a very noble attempt out of Renai's circulation, but he is now a 0-4-1. Scotch Knot is being lit apart. He is being slowed. He is being poked. He has the flash out, but Mr. Coffee is not going to let you run. And Salvo with the super mega death bomb is going to pick up one, and then with the bouncing bomb picks up a second. It's a 0-for-3 in favor of the shitters, and this lead is starting to feel unthrowable. And really the surprising thing here to me about this matchup is that Renai and Thrifty have struggled so much on this team. They just really have not, and they've tried this in multiple positions, they just really have not been able to do as much as I think we expected them to be able to. And maybe we just didn't give enough credit to the players on other teams that they might be able to match up with these guys a little more than we thought. We've seen a bit more form out of some of these players than I expected. Albino Joe's been playing really well tonight. Salvo's been playing pretty well. And that's been a pretty big difference maker, as Salvo is going to pick up, I think, our first Magi Soul Stealer of the night. As, I mean, he's in a pretty good position to do it. Zig's going to be pretty safe. Who's going to be diving him? I mean, there's a Think Twice who really isn't that big that he has to worry about, and that's about it. I mean, Think Twice, it's almost 20 minutes in. He still only has a Trinity Force, and he's going into defensive items next. I don't think anyone's going to be getting deep enough to get a kill on the Salvo, so I imagine he's going to keep those Magi stacks very high this game. So we'll see here what happens next. 7,000 gold lead for the Shitters, as well as on soul points. They have a lot of paths to victory. They're up 3 towers to 1 as they've taken all the tier 1s on the map, and they can really just suffocate out this map pressure right now. So we will see how they are able to do it. Once again, my friends, cheers to beer. A necessity for a solo cast. Cheers to water as well. It's going to be Ivy League's first original sponsor. When you're renting and you have all that time to stare at your gray screen, it's more time to drink water. Stay hydrated, my friends, because Think Twice, he flashes out, but he has nowhere to run here. Waste of a summoner spell for him, unfortunately. And that is another easy kill here for the Shitters. And that's really just to save this map. Benane Easy is just being forced out of really everything. They can't safely farm anywhere. All of their tier 1s are down. They can't really get these lanes pushing. They're not able to really set up vision. I haven't seen that many vision wards, control wards, sorry, in the inventories on this blue side. And they really need to start committing the goal to trying to establish somewhere to find these picks, because they are so far behind. They have to find like a 5v2 or 4v2 situation to turn anything around. Because, I mean, look at Thrifty Senpai. My Wang does not give a shit about him. He's landed a bunch of moves, and Wang is still comfortably at half health. Now, John Gruden is tossing out his ultimate. I don't know if it was doing a whole lot. Mr. Coffee with a nice ult in. They get a kill on a Thrifty Senpai. He's now 0-3. Renai Circulation going to potentially be the next to fall here. He has no flash available. He is not going to be escaping from this one. And you expected Thrifty and Renai to be the ones carrying their team, but they are letting their team down right now. 0-5, 0-3. Where are the carries we were promised? They do manage to find a kill on the Salvo, though, so as I talk about the Magi's, he is going to lose almost all of his stacks, and that is something. But Mr. Coffee is just doing what he did last game and pushing onto this tier 2. The Shen pick very, very much fitting into his playstyle. This is now an 8,000 gold lead for the Shitters. They are still suffocating out these lanes. They are controlling this jungle. Look at how deep they have vision on, they have vision lines set up on both sides of the jungle here. As we are approaching this 4th dragon spawn, it'll be a Wind Dragon soul point here in a moment. And you have to think that if the Shitters are able to secure that, they're going to be in a really good spot to win this one. So we do see here Scotchnut coming through with his sweeper. Going to try to clear out some of this vision to give his team a chance to contest this dragon. You got to think they're going to go for the all-in fight here. Try to get something going in advance of this dragon and maybe start clawing their way into the game. This is probably the fight where we find out if it's GG or not. And I like that they're setting up early. They got to make sure they don't get poked out early. Remember, these last 2 dragons were Renai Circulation just got lit up well in advance of the fight, and then went for kind of a prayer Hail Mary of a flank each time, and didn't really accomplish much. So the dragon is just now spawning Shen, still putting that pressure in the top lane. So the Shitters, they're content to take this nice and slow, but Think Twice, he's going in, he whips the pull, and now the top laner, the tankiest member of the team, has already taken a lot of his health pool and damage. There is a Brandon and Misfortune on the flank, though. I mean, they have the setup here if they can force this, but it's going to be one team is going to get just ripped apart here. Shen is not teleported in, and the damage dealers, they're flanking as they're losing their tanks on the other side. The ults are coming through. It is a 2 for 1 so far as the dragon is secured by Benane Easy, but at what cost? 50 Senpai very low, 50 Senpai very, very dead, and it ends up being a 2 for 3 here. But the dragon is secured by Benane Easy, and that soul point will be held off for just a little while longer. But still, look at these. Oh, they made. Oh, Coffee's not going that deep. But once again, look at these score lines. It's obviously 18-6. No one's going to have a good score line on Benane Easy, but Scotch is just so squishy on Tarek, and he's the support. He's never going to get back into this game gold-wise. He's looking for kind of surprise stuns and battle predictions, and that's really his path to being effective in this game. Thrifty Senpai, though, just gets the first kill in that fight, which still was a wash of a fight. But it's the first kill for these 2 stars on Simp and Ain't Easy. Is 053 Renai Circulation, 143 Thrifty Senpai. I mean, if you knew those scores in advance of this game, you probably would have predicted it looked something like this. So now we'll see here, though. What do the shitters do to close this out? Obviously, I was, well, I was watching. But we were kind of shitting on their decision-making in their first game of the night. It was not good. So we'll see here if they can close this one out cleanly. I think they can really just kind of force their way down a lane and start poking under a tower at this point. They have a Ziggs, they have an Ashe. It's going to be really hard to engage them with the Trundle and the Swain, and the Shen's there to play defense. This is actually a team that I think can kind of just go for a Nayram. Or, you know, potentially have Mr. Coffee down one of the 2 side lanes while the 4 are going down mid. Would be very effective, as Coffee is pretty unduelable. We'll take a peek here at the gold again. The top laners, I mean, are fairly close. It's only a 500 gold difference, as still, as expected. Well, no, the difference has really started to creep up across the board. Top lane at the closest position, only about 500 gold, as it's about 1,500 plus in every other position. That massive 3,000 gold lead for Albino Joe over John Gruden is just oof. Oof. You hate to see it unless you're Albino Joe. But here we go. Well, Albino Joe, no. Albino Joe, don't, no. Stay with your team. Stay with your team. Stay with your team. You don't need to go get that lane push. You do not need to have all 3 lanes pushing. Stay with your team. Push down this mid tower. Siege. Let Ziggs poke them. As soon as somebody engages or steps out, you can crystal arrow them. Or you catch them trying to stop vision their jungle. Renai Circulation has to pop an ultimate. But it looks like they are going to opt for trying to control all 3 lanes instead of just the 2. Coffee did get that tier 2 in the top lane. Joey does have the setup here in the bot lane now, and it's going to be really hard for Simp and Ain't Easy to find their path down to defending this. 50 Senpai's coming down with the AoE. Salvo's going to probably keep this mid lane push, so they are going to go for the 1-3, 1-1-3. 1-1-1 with 2 in the jungle. Some variation here, as Renai Circulation's about to find out that he does not have a lot of opportunity to duel the Ziggs. Actually, maybe more of an opportunity than I thought. He was kind of putting some damage on himself, but still nowhere near enough. My wing is going to just walk his little Trundle ass off, and they're going to secure another kill. And now what can they do with it? There's 2 minutes on this Cloud Dragon, so I do not want to see this team give up on their push yet. As this mid tower is taking a lot of damage. This is nice. They take 2 tier 2s out of this extended exchange, and we see 50 Senpai going for a flash ulti, and it's going to force a Shen ult onto the Ziggs here. Notice the Coffee's in. He gets a 1-man taunt. Wang is turning. Salvo from downtown. He's putting out damage. Finally dies to the Brand passive, and he's down to just 1 stacks, or maybe 0 stacks on that Magize. Can you hit 0 stacks on Magize? I don't know. Up to 2 with an assist, but that's a 1 for 3 in favor of the shitters. And Simp and Ain't Easy are really just a few minutes away from having somebody joining me on the casting roster for tonight, as John Gruden is trying to defend his towers, and he's going to lose his life for it. Mid tower going down as well. These are tier 3s being taken and pressured across the board here, as Albino Joe is still able to push in this bot lane. This mid inhibitor will be indefendable, and this is a big setup in advance of this soul point. So, 12,000 gold in the lead. You gotta think this is GG. As, really, the shitters have their choice of the super objectives. They're gonna, I think they'll just walk up and take this Baron. Renai Circulation is way too far away, and Albino Joe, at this point in the game, should be able to shred through this Baron. He is, oh my good god, so much gold. 5,000 gold lead for the AD carry. And, that's generally a GG. There's generally not much coming back from that. Albino Joe has played super, super well. His whole team playing super, super well, really. Albino Joe's a big beneficiary, and if you've heard the rumors that the AD carry's in a bad place right now, Albino Joe would not know it. And now we got the soul point up. Scotch was trying to get in here to set something up. But this is, I mean, going on a prayer. He has no one even close to him. This Renai Circulation is coming in on the flank. He's going to completely whip that Poppy ult, and now he's just, once again, charges in just a flash in the opposite direction. Ziggs getting the damage on. It's a double kill for the Ashe. And that's going to be soul point with no smite steal at all possible here. John Gruden maybe looking to drop an MF ult over the wall, but my friend, you do not want to do this. You are way too far behind to be challenging here. He's going to lose his life. The minions, the super minions are in the base. There's a Baron buff on the shitters, and they should be just walking this one down the mid lane and closing this one out. There is no reason to be in the bot lane. There is no reason to be in the bot lane. Just go mid. Just go mid. But this team may be a little traumatized by the path they took to losers bracket. They are going to play this a little slower. So they're going to go for the split push. They get the bot tier 3. Coffee's about to get the top tier 3. They're going to just collapse this entire base. And now there will be Baron supers in all 3 lanes crashing into this Nexus. Not a lot of wave clear available. Is Renai Circulation on a prayer going to try to find something here. But as we've been saying for about 20 minutes now, he's going to go in just to lose all of his health bar. He will make it out alive. But this is just a Nexus being crashed on. Is, hey, we're going to do my favorite thing. We're going to start manually cameraing. Is look at that. Both of the Nexus turrets down. Look at these 2 fatty cannon creeps just chucking away at the Nexus. As Think Twice lost his life. The jungle is being dipped. The Nexus is being taken. And the shitters are going to keep their hope of a loser's bracket run alive. As Simpin' Ain't Easy will be eliminated in 4th place. And that was just a very difficult game for Simpin' Ain't Easy. But that is going to do it for me, guys. I have nothing to break down in this post-game. You have heard all my thoughts. It was just a steamroll of a game. But looking at my friends list, the other game is still rolling. But unfortunately, it is not able to be joined by in-game spectators, so I cannot join the other game for the second half of the solo cast. So, guys, we will be back in a bit. I'm going to put 10 minutes on the timer to give these teams a chance to kind of finish things up and do what they got to do. So we will be back in a little bit. Once again, a great chance to go donate to charity as we are still closing in on that. Oh, we broke that $2,100. Goodness gracious. Bless your heart. Who did it? Who did it? Master Splinter with the $20. Thank you so much. Pushes us over that 2,100 mark. I don't know. If we hit 2,500, I'll sing Silver Scrapes on stream or something. So stay tuned. We will be back soon, guys.